Today we are testing two tweener clubs from Callaway, both offering tremendous forgiveness and versatility, but how are they different and which one's best for you? We're going to test it out on TrackMan. Stay tuned. Hey golfers, welcome back to the channel. I'm Coss Barnette here with master fitter Harrison Arnold, and today we are going to take a look at two gap filler options from Callaway, the Callaway Super Hybrid and the Callaway Apex UW. Harrison, maybe fill us in about a little bit what's different between these and maybe what we're expecting when we start testing.
Yeah, for sure. So I think to start with, that UW is going to be kind of more that traditional hybrid that we're kind of looking at. That Super Hybrid is going to be, well, it's got a fantastic name too. It's not just a hybrid.
It's the Super Hybrid.
It's a super
yeah.
hybrid. So what that really means, it's got a hollow body design. It's designed to give you a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit more launch. All those things kind of mid to high handicaps are going to need to. Also has an adjustable hosel on there too, new for this year. So gives you a few more options to kind of play with in the thing. But,
All right. Well, let's take a look. What are you expecting to see in terms of numbers?
Yeah. So I would expect this UW to probably be a little bit lower in spin. I expect that to be a little bit higher in spin, a little bit higher in launch. But yeah, I think they should be sort of go about the same distances. But we'll see what they see what happens.
Let's get to testing.
Yeah.
All right, Harrison, what do we have in our hand first?
Yes, we've got the Apex UW in this in my hand to start with. Going to hit 3 or 4 shots with this one. Kind of see what it's doing. One of the biggest keys at UW this year, they've put some tungsten weighting in here to help lower the center of gravity and produce a higher launch. So we'll kind of see if that kind of plays to what they say.
Let's see what it looks like. Initial comments on kind of looks at address?
Yeah, obviously shows a decent amount of loft as a hybrid. Very rounded shape though. That sort of leading edge seems very rounded on the bottom side. A little bit different to what I would usually see on more traditional hybrids. Usually you'd see kind of more of a straighter sort of leading edge on this, but it seems very round. But which might suit the eye to a lot of people.
Yeah. Does that inspire a little confidence and forgiveness?
I would say so. Yeah, well, 100%. Ooh. Wow.
Okay.
All right, so a little bit pushy to start with this one.
149 max feet too. And
yeah, it went very high. So it'll be interesting to kind of get a couple more reps and see what happens. But wasn't too bad of a strike. So interesting.
And what loft do we have here?
We got these all in 21 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah. Similar ball speed again there. Same kind of like right side sort of miss with that one. Very similar spin again.
Very high.
Very high so far. Not sure I'll be taking this one down to the local links course.
No, absolutely not. Little windy fall day, probably not the club.
All right, a little bit toey on that one. So interesting what that does. Spin dropped dramatically on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, so interesting to see that. I didn't toe it that badly, but that's dropped big time. And you can kind of see the peak height was 20 feet lower. And what I kind of noticed is between those two flights, how that one kind of dipped out the sky.
Yes.
Why that was just because of how much lower in spin that was. So really, I'm not really a fan of that. If I'm hitting this into a green and I slightly mishit it, because we're all human, we are going to mishit it, right? Like, that's carried 237, but run out to 252.
Right.
So, yeah,
that lower spin's running it out, and obviously a lower peak height, it's more of a penetrating knuckleball, if you will, compared to the other ones you hit.
For sure. So. Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
All right, let's hit a couple more here and see what the damage is.
Similar out to the right kind of strike. Really high in spin.
Spins back up and peak height.
It wasn't too bad of a hit, but really spun quite high on that one. Lost a lot of distance on that. All right, much better strike there.
There we go.
Finally got one straight.
There we go.
I was playing dogleg right.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so if we kind of break down, if you want to bring that table up, we can kind of break down what's going on with this club. So yeah, launch about 16 is kind of similar to what I would usually see with a 3-iron hybrid. But biggest thing is how much that thing is spinning and how high this ball's going. I mean, we're getting 140 feet of apex height.
On average.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we had a couple up there at 149. Yeah.
That's high.
Tough to flight the golf ball.
Right.
So, But yeah, I mean, it's carrying around about the right number that I'd typically see with kind of like my 3-iron. So maybe this is a little bit shorter than what I would suspect to see a 3-iron hybrid go. Because typically, because it's a metal wood, we'd like to see that kind of go 5 or 10 yards further than your iron equivalent. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is just how high that thing was going.
Yeah, and I think they called it, right? They moved some weight around, some tungsten weighting, changed the CG a little bit, lowered it, and clearly it's working. The peak height and launch are up, and the spin is way up as well, which, what type of golfer does that benefit, just historically as well?
Yeah, I think it's definitely for those golfers who struggle to keep that ball in the air, struggle for those golfers who can't keep a nice high apex height on it. Well, maybe especially in the long irons. The modern golf ball is designed to spin low. When we moved to the new Pro V1, they dropped about 1,000 revs of spin in comparison to the models before when the Pro V1 even came out. So that alone has made long iron play much harder. So that 5-iron that you used to love back in the day, or that 4-iron you used to love back in the day, yeah, it may have worked great with that current technology. With the modern golf ball, that's going to spin a lot lower. So maybe we need to find you something in the fitting bays that is a hybrid that launches a lot higher, spins a lot higher, helps you to keep that ball in the air.
Awesome. Let's give the Callaway Super Hybrid.
Super Hybrid.
Yeah, the Super Hybrid. Not average, but super. And what, I guess, kind of initial reactions are you seeing with that club head address compared to the UW?
Yeah, so straight away, like we said, it's not just hybrid, it's a super hybrid. So expecting really big things out of this one. When I put it down, it's a much more traditional hybrid look. Slight differences, they've gone for a completely different finish on the top here. They've gone kind of back to that sort of dull gray, but shiny dull gray finish like they had on the Great Big Berthas. So probably an ode to the Big Bertha. But yeah, very different look. Actually looks like a much smaller head profile here. Face just looks a lot smaller. Blade length is a little bit smaller. So yeah, just slightly different looks completely, really.
Right. And what are you expecting here to see? I think this one is kind of geared up to maybe be a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more kind of distance oriented. Any predictions that you see compared to the UW? Yeah,
I would expect this one to feel a little bit deader off the face, and by that I mean it just feels like it's going to go a long way. It's a hollow body design, so I assume to see this thing
just
kind of
long and hot.
Exactly, just to go a long way. So let's see if I can hit some new PBs.
Let's do it.
Initially, felt slightly different on the face. Felt a little bit clickier. Sounded a little bit louder too.
It did.
Looking at the numbers, much higher in spin. Was again a little bit low on the face, a little bit spinny, but not too bad. So, so very similar story right now.
Be curious to see too when we pull up the table what the ball speed is as well. I think this one, in theory, probably should have a little faster ball speed.
Oh, for sure. We can get rid of that one.
Well, it's interesting though. You hit that one a little bit, obviously. Just kind of off the bottom heel.
Was near the shaft.
Yeah. But it honestly worked out okay.
Yeah. Wouldn't kill you on the golf course.
Right. And the peak height left, the spin actually retained pretty well. I obviously lost some distance with the strike, but yeah, let's keep hitting them.
All right. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, again, just pretty high in spin. Those good strikes are just extremely high in spin. But great for a golfer who struggles to keep the ball in the air, right? If we're in the fitting bay with someone who really is struggling with their longer irons, or any irons really in general, yeah, we need to find you something that's going to get up in the air, launch nice and high, keep spin on the golf ball, because we're all about trying to make golf easier, right? We're not trying to make it any harder for you. So if we can make the game as easy as possible by moving to hybrids, putting a few more head covers in the bag, then why not, right?
And so be it, right?
That one was hit good.
Yeah, that one sounded crisp. Still kind of up and to the right a hair.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think for whatever reason, with both these hybrids so far, I would actually say the UW, because it was a little bit more rounded, actually felt like it was a little bit close to me. This one, because it's sitting a little bit squarer, to my eye just makes it feel like it sits a little bit more open.
Oh, okay.
So it could be why I'm kind of sort of leaving these ones a little bit out to the
Sure.
right. I think look definitely plays into preferences when we're kind of fitting clubs, right? If we're putting something in your hands and it's working pretty good, but we've got something else in the bay that's working just as good, really, and you like the look of that one better, well, I think we'd be leaning towards that because you need 14 friends of you on the golf course, right?
That's right. All right, maybe let's hit 2 more here, and then let's take a look at the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the best hit out of all of them.
Yeah, ball speed's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very high again.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
You might be hitting this higher than you were the UW.
Honestly, I think I am, yeah. This is, it'd be interesting to kind of see the data, maybe excluding that one that went a little bit left on us,
Yes.
just kind of see what's with that and without it, to see what the differences are. Yeah, getting that little right miss, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, let's kind of go through some of these numbers. Initially, very similar across the board. Much higher in spin though. So really the biggest thing is kind of what we're looking to see what the differences are. We expected to see the super hybrid spin a little bit more than that maybe that UW is.
Right.
The UW is going to be a little bit more workable. Once it gets a little bit higher in spin, it is harder to kind of work the golf ball because we can't really, to really work the golf ball, you need something to be a little bit lower in spin so you can kind of get those nice curves, make it go fade a little bit, make it draw a little bit, because you need the ball to kind of dive out the air for that to happen. So not surprising to see the super hybrid be a little bit higher in spin.
Yeah, and I think the max height too, we were kind of commenting on that.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looks fairly similar. I know you had this one that you had just kind of hit out to the right. If we take that out, I think that's a pretty clear outlier.
Yeah.
You can tell that it is quite a bit higher for
Mm-hmm.
the super hybrid, 7 feet or so higher than what you were doing with the Apex spin.
for sure.
Clearly, it's a lot higher with the super hybrid,
Mm-hmm.
but that's by design, right?
Yeah.
I think the target player for the UW versus the super hybrid. What kind of players are maybe looking at each of these clubs?
Yeah, I would say the super hybrid is going to be kind of that mid to high handicap, a guy who struggles to keep that ball in the air, looking for something to kind of replace one of those longer irons. It's a gap filling club, but I could see that going down to the 4 or even the 5 iron, right? And sort of filling that bag so you can get this ball to come down nice and soft with a decent land angle. Because we're all about trying to make sure that ball comes down nice and soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the ball's not coming down soft into these greens, well, we're going to be struggling all day long, right? And lower scores aren't going to come from making things work. It's all about making sure we have the right tools to do the job, right? I would say that UW is probably more of that sort of low to mid handicap player who's looking for a little bit more workability. They might want to shape it a little bit. They might want to do a few more things, have it be a little bit lower in spin, a little bit lower in peak height.
Awesome, and maybe talk maybe just final takeaways between the Apex UW and the Super Hybrid, and then also maybe talk a little bit about the importance for folks to come in and get fit for that gap in your bag, between your woods and your irons, the top of the bag, and why that's so important.
Yeah, for sure. I would say main takeaways is Super Hybrid is going to be higher in spin. It's going to be higher in peak height. So if you're someone who's really struggling to get that ball up in the air, this is going to be your ticket. That UW goes a little bit higher too than a traditional hybrid, but it's also going to be a little bit more workable. So if we don't need the full benefits of getting it really high, that's going to be your option. Super hybrid is going to be your option if we're looking to increase spin and height as much as possible.
There you have it. Thanks, Harrison. We appreciate you coming in, taking a look at the new options from Callaway and the hybrids. Folks, go visit secondswing.com, schedule your fitting today. Let's have a discussion about your top of the bag.